Happy Victory Monday, Patriots fans. Not too often I get to say that, but when I do, I'm going to hammer it home. But coming up here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports, I got two major topics to discuss with you guys. Number one, the healthy scratch Josh Uche for yesterday's game has now been traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. We kind of knew this was coming. We also kind of knew this was coming today because he was a healthy scratch yesterday in the win over the Jets. So we're going to break down a little preview of the trade deadline on November 5th, but also talk about what the linebacker room is going to look like now without having Uche in their depth chart. On the back half of the show, you guys want to know? I'm going to update you guys on Drake Maye's injury news, also break down what concussion protocol does mean for Drake Maye and the Patriots moving forward. But did I say it's Victory Monday? Man, oh man, does it feel good to not be worse than the New York Jets. If you are glad we took down Aaron Rodgers, and if you also think Aaron Rodgers should hit retirement and go enjoy Cancun, go on ahead and like this video for me. Look, Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback. One of the great prototypical quarterbacks that are left from my generation. But yesterday proved he just doesn't have it anymore. Hit that thumbs up button, and let's go ahead and talk about Josh Uche going to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so this is kind of what the Patriots got back for Uche, because he's not, one of our top defenders. He's not a Keon White. He wasn't a Matthew Judon, but you can still get a little bit of draft leverage for him. So the Chiefs are giving up a 6th-round pick, which is big for the rebuilding Patriots. But if he leaves in free agency in the offseason, because we did sign Josh Uche earlier this year, they could very well get a 7th-round compensation back. So it could look more like a 6th, 7th-round swap to add depth at edge for a very cheap price, because the Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders. You know who's not? The Patriots, unfortunately. So they're going to get a nice edge to add in their depth chart, and we're going to get draft stock. And that's what you want by the NFL trade deadline. Can you guys tell Celtics season is back? So far for Josh Uche, he should have played yesterday, but he was a healthy scratch. I personally think it's because there was already a trade in the works. You didn't want to get him injured. But overall, I think that our linebacker room obviously has taken a bit of a hit when it comes to the edge rushers and Matthew Judon, and then losing your Mike with Jawan Bentley, and now you're going to add even more. But let me tell you who I love, Christian Ellis. I actually like Christian Ellis starting over Raekwon McMillan, but now you're going to put Raekwon back at your stand, and then you're going to have Christian Ellis, who was dominant yesterday in yesterday's win. He'll now fulfill your duties at edge alongside Anthony Jennings. So I do think the Patriots' linebacker depth chart should be okay without Josh Uche, but you will start to notice a little bit of a difference. And I want to talk about what Bill Belichick had to say on the Pat McAfee show about Josh Uche, obviously having coached him, saying the Chiefs didn't give up anything in mind. Uche's a really good rusher. He hasn't had a chance to rush much this year for the Patriots because they've been behind a lot. So you haven't really been able to use his skill set the way the Patriots wanted to. And Belichick went on to say he had a very big year 2 years ago. That was when he had double-digit sacks. Now he had Judon on the other side of him, so that definitely did help. But now you're going to pair him up with an opportunity next to Chris Jones in Kansas City, and that's where I do think that this is just going to be better for Josh Uche moving forward. And I think it's going to be better for the Patriots moving forward. Why? Because of draft capital. If you are making a trade this year for the Patriots, unfortunately, it's not to help them beat, whoever in the playoffs. It's going to get some of their draft stock. And so far, you just added another one in 2026 from Kansas City for Joshua Uche. So yeah, you may end up in the losing column this year, but in 2 years from now, when you get a stud in the 6th round that a lot of people slept on, you're going to look back and say, thank you, Josh Uche, for taking that one for the team. And this is what the Patriots need to focus on moving forward. And let me break it to you right here, right now. This is not the last trade. It can't be. There's no way in hell Elliott Wolf and Jerron May are going to sit here and be like, yeah, okay, we'll make one trade. No. Diana Rossini saying it's known around the league the Patriots will continue to listen to offers on other players before the NFL trade deadline next week. We have a very big week next week with a presidential election. We also have a very big week next week for Patriots fans at the NFL trade deadline, because we could see a lot of guys go. This is kind of how a rebuild works. And that could mean guys like Davon Godchaux, who is a possible trade candidate, despite all of the dramatic Messages he sent in the offseason talking about how he wants to get paid. Well, we finally pay him, and guess what? Now he might be on the trade block. That's how business works. Not to mention, Kendrick Bourne and KJ Osborn, the two wide receivers who are running their mouths on social media talking about how I don't get enough protection in the passing game, and then you both go and drop two crucial third down conversion passes. Nope. That's not going to fly with me at all. And since you ran your mouth and talked about how you don't like your level of production on the field, and then you went and you couldn't back it up, sayonara. Good to go. But I have a question here for you guys. Obviously, I'm a little bit upset about the wide receivers dropping several passes in Week 8. Despite the win, the Patriots do still have a lot they need to work on here, and we're going to talk about Drake Maye in a second. But which Patriots players should be traded at the deadline? I've seen a lot on Jonathan Jones. I knew Josh Uche was kind of coming. I'd be a little upset if Davon Godchaux ended up exiting the team. So let me know if you think there's a player out there that just doesn't fill the need for the Patriots this year who are right now on about a 5-game win total. And that may be the end of it. But all right, like I said, I got updates on Drake Maye coming up here. Obviously exited the second quarter in the Week 8 win against the Jets with a concussion. We're going to break that down, what that means for Week 9, and what it means for possibly bringing back Jacoby Brissett. But before we hop into that, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor here on Patriots Today, and that's Game Time. If you guys are looking to go see the Patriots in action after a huge win at home, and let me tell you, the fact the Patriots won with 22 seconds left to go is why you guys need to make your way to Gillette Stadium, and you need to use Game Time tickets to do so. I love Game Time because I love the all-in pricing, and I love that you have no surprise fees at checkout. Not to mention, if you guys have been at Gillette Stadium before, or even if you haven't, you get to use a seat view, which is a 180 panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. And look, I'm all about saving $1. So if you can have the lowest price guaranteed or 110% of the difference back, then why are you going around to other ticketing apps knowing that Game Time is going to have the best price to offer out of any other place out there on the internet? So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started, let me tell you about one extra feature that I have found to be very resourceful. Game Time Picks makes getting tickets to your favorite teams play live even easier. It filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Drake Maye gave us all a nice little scare in the second quarter of the Patriots game when he did go out with a concussion. Since then, he has now entered concussion protocol, which can be a little bit intimidating for when you hear this about your rookie, your star player, the franchise. The future of your franchise is now in concussion protocol. What does this mean for the Patriots who are just now gaining wind with their new rookie quarterback? Well, here's what the NFL states is what the concussion protocol kind of consists of. First, it kicks into action when a player is either displaying or self-reporting signs of a head injury. Once that happens, the team's medical staff, as well as the league's unaffiliated neurotrauma consultants, there are 3 of them that are assigned to each game. That's when they take further steps. So what are those steps now for Drake Maye to be able to come back and play for the Patriots? I'm just going to go on a limb here. Don't quote me. I don't think he plays in Week 9. Typically, concussion protocols last about 2 weeks, 14 days, as it should. You really do not want a Tua Tagovailoa situation on your hands, and God bless Tua, but he has been dealt with several head injuries. So overall, what's going to happen here for Drake Maye is that, number one, symptom-limited activity. They're going to make sure that he is taking care of his head. He's not surrounding himself like Travis Scott concerts. He's not going out there and playing video games. And then he's going to go into some aerobic exercises, just kind of light movement. You know, aerobics tends to be a little bit lighter. He's not going back into the strength room. Number 3, that's when you start to get into football-specific exercises, maybe watching some film, maybe breaking down the X's and O's, making sure that everything cognitive is still there. And then number 4 is when you really start to get a little bit closer to returning. This is when Drake Maye is going to go no pads. He's probably going to have the shells on, and then he'll just do drop backs. He'll start throwing the ball. He'll start getting the exercise going. And then step 5, boom, red jersey comes on, and you go back to practice, and you're ready to go to play in the next ball game. So we've got a little while to go. And it's kind of surprising that he will be in concussion protocol because of the hit that he did sustain. And because there was no targeting flag on this either. Drake Maye was actually in the game for 4 snaps after he got hit, which is very dangerous. If he sustained another big hit, we could be making a very different video today. But I know the quality's a little bit shakier. This is the best angle I could find. But obviously, a player took the crown of his helmet and knocked Drake Maye. Thankfully, not in the front of his head either, but it did hit him in the back, which is still going to cause that brain to bounce around in his skull. It sounds painful. So Drake Maye continued to play, which is why I thought, he got hit, but that's a tough cookie. No concussion. Then he goes in the blue tent, and then he's ruled out before halftime. But I will admit, Brissett delivered. And he could have immediately crumbled, and it looked like he was going to after the first 3-and-out drives on offense. But Brissett did his job. And I think that Drake Maye, it shows you that this kid's going to be our future, because even after he was in the blue tent, he's like, I want to go back out there. And the trainers are like, you legally cannot. It is the protocols of the NFL. So Brissett had to come back in after being benched, and he still had that same attitude that we love. And I think Brissett did a fine job at being backup quarterback. 15 for 24, 132 yards. Guys, look, this is a player that hasn't even thrown for over 170 yards in a full football game for the Patriots this year. And then he goes out and plays one half and throws for 132. That's big. To have a 63% completion rate and 1 sack, which we'll give credit to the offensive line for that. 1 sack on Brissett, 1 sack on Drake Maye. Looks like we're getting better. But I also like what Jacoby Brissett said here in the sense that he's not looking to take over the team. I don't look at it as no redemption. I think this is a testament to me believing in myself and not y'all. I was very fortunate to have this opportunity to go out there and get a win with our guys. It was sweet. You can't put it into words. I'm not trying to be arrogant or nothing, but I'm very proud of myself. And I loved that. I think he should be. Because believe me, Brissett has put us through a lot in 5 games, and I know that he was never going to be Drake Maye. That wasn't the plan that was set for him in New England. But something that's making me realize this when he came in the second half is that he can be an actually good candidate for backup quarterback for Drake Maye moving forward. He's the perfect veteran. He's the perfect mentor, and you know what you're getting out of him. You know you're going to get a very standard quarterback. It reminds me of a Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy was a backup quarterback the entire time in his NFL career, and he made millions, and he was a great team player. He never complained, and that's what Brissett seems to be. So it's making me wonder, all right, you got your franchise QB in Drake Maye, but maybe they keep on Jacoby Brissett moving forward, knowing that, there is a definite drop in level of talent. But in terms of maturity and in terms of leadership, that's your captain on the field, and I think he did a good job. But we do miss Drake Maye. I know that my momentum completely went out the door. I know people left the stadium when Drake Maye got hurt and left the ball game. But the whole good news is that he will be back eventually. This isn't a season-ending injury or anything like that. So if you guys want to give Drake Maye some well wishes, hope that he recovers very soon and we get our rookie back, all you guys have to do is like this video.